we should be looking for candidates who are willing to say, you know what? I believe that this is what's in the best interest of the nation, and I know it's not popular. I know it's not the easy way to go. I know it's not the thing that will generate the most votes, but it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for my nation, and I'm going to go ahead and collaborate with these folks, whether I agree with them on everything or not, to get things done. I would always rather vote for somebody who was willing to work in the interest of the nation rather than somebody who's just going to rubber stamp whatever I think. Because what if I'm wrong? Now, in Kentucky, we have the same thing happening on the flip side. It's not a Democrat diehard who won. It's a diehard Republican. Not just a Republican, a libertarian. And basically, Rand Paul is now showing that his ideology goes way beyond what some people may have expected. He was on television this week talking about he thinks we should have the ability to discriminate, that businesses should have the ability to discriminate against people on the basis of race, right? That in the public sector, it's okay. You know, we can say that they shouldn't discriminate. But when it comes to the private sector, people should have the ability to discriminate on race. And that if we don't do that, we're impinging upon other people's freedom of speech. I'm curious, what do you think? Is it more important for people to have the freedom to tell you, no, you can't eat here? Or is it, if they don't want to serve you, or is it more important for us to have a society where everyone has equal access to opportunity, whether it's sitting at a lunch counter or drinking from whatever water fountain happens to be close to you? Do you feel like we are actually hurting people more by preventing their ability to discriminate, or is it a greater good by making sure that all people are included in the society? Give us a shout, 866-677-2496, 866-677-2496. Do you agree with Rand Paul? Should people be allowed in America to discriminate based on race? Hit us up at twitter.com/Ashong and 866-677-2496. Let's hear Rand Paul's conversation or his point on what he really meant to say. Let's get clip 14.
I'm not in favor of any discrimination of any form. I would never belong to any club that excluded anybody for race. We still do have private clubs in America that can discriminate based on race. But I think what's important about this debate is not getting into any specific gotcha on this, but asking the question, what about freedom of speech? Should we limit speech from people we find abhorrent? Should we limit racists from speaking? I don't want to be associated with those people, but I also don't want to limit their speech in any way in the sense that we tolerate boorish and uncivilized behavior, because that's one of the things freedom requires, is that we allow people to be boorish and uncivilized, but that doesn't mean we approve of it. I think the problem with this debate is by getting muddled down into it, the implication is somehow that I would approve of any racism or discrimination, and I don't in any form or fashion.
See, I think that what Rand Paul has said there is actually creating a false premise. He's saying that we allow or should allow, you know, crass and boorish behavior in the society. We may not like it, we don't have to agree with it, but we should allow it. But we put certain constraints on that crass and boorish behavior. It could be crass and boorish for you to run up in my apartment and steal my flat screen. I sit there and watch news media all day. And you're like, you know what? We want that TV. Take it away. Crass and boorish, it's not allowed in America. It's illegal. And don't presume that law is something that is just a given. In all kinds of societies, certain people actually do have the power to confiscate your goods and services. Don't think that freedom comes for free, right? In this instance, he is saying that it may be boorish for someone to be choosing to discriminate against someone else, but they should have the right to do so. I actually fundamentally disagree. I think that in a society, if we call it a free society, then you have to create certain constraints. I need to be able to know that I can go into a place of business and get a hotel room if I've been traveling, get a place to eat. It was actually based upon the Interstate Commerce Clause that we struck down segregation in this country, that we struck down Jim Crow. Because what if you